chimalanda. Chibwana chimalanda. Ukakhala pabwino oyipa pamayitana. Chibwana chimalanda. Ukakhala panchito ulova umakodola. Chibwana chimalanda. Ukakhala pabanja umbeta umayitana.
Hello and welcome to Africa 54 on the set of Zodiak TV in Lilongwe. I am Joab Frank Chakaza with Vincent Makori from VOA. Welcome to Malawi.
Thank you very much, Joe.
And I hope you've been having fun since you've been around.
I have to say I've enjoyed being in Malawi. The people of Malawi are so warm and welcoming.
Been going around?
Yes, I've traveled around quite a bit. I started off in Mangochi by Lake Malawi.
Very hot down that side.
Very, very hot. And I got to see quite a, a number of things there, but also witnessed a drought in the area.
Yes.
And then another thing I noticed is that quite a number of children are not in school. They're staying out of school. And I'm told that they're staying out of school to help their families due to poverty. But poverty and food shortages aren't the only things restricting access to education. So we decided to investigate the issue, and here's what we found. Nearly 25 years ago, the government of Malawi introduced free primary education. But it has been very difficult implementing that policy due to lack of resources. Many schools are overcrowded, they have way fewer teachers, and many lack supplies to provide quality education. Now the government says it has introduced a number of programs to help Malawian children go to school. There are also a number of non-government organizations across the country that are trying to do the same. Lamek Masina brings you that story.
Dina Malenga is the only fourth grade teacher at Mazembe Primary School in Malawi Sinkatabe district. She teaches 112 students, almost double the recommended 60 per teacher.
It's too hectic for me as a teacher. Since there are so many students, they don't easily grasp what I'm teaching them, and some don't even finish assignments. Tracking those who do not finish their assignments is another tough job to do.
Malenga is among teachers struggling with the impact of Malawi's policy on free primary education. The government introduced the policy in 1994 to curb illiteracy, but did not provide adequate funding. Teachers say the resulting influx in students has reduced the quality of education.
So this is a situation with the free primary because so many teachers are registering, so many learners are registering, but we don't have enough teachers to teach those learners in primary schools.
Western charities like Ripple Africa have stepped in to help address the resource challenges. The charity is supporting 6 primary schools in Nkatabe with donated desks, classroom, and teacher housing construction.
Our aim behind this is that we want to make sure that this community here, the children should do well up to university level, so that they should be self-sustainable rather than relying to Ripple Africa or relying for someone's help, because education is the key to everything.
The charity is also paying salaries for trainee primary school teachers who are not on the government payroll.
At least my life has been changed. So I'm able to support my family, although the salary which I get is a little, but the little I get is enough to support my family.
Ripple Africa says it plans to source more funds to double the number of Malawi primary schools it is supporting and further ease the burden on teachers. Lamek Masina for VOA News, Nkatabe, Malawi.
So unfortunately, our attempts to get a statement from the Minister of Education were unsuccessful.
Yeah, that's sad, but I do understand that you have also been going around in some primary schools in Malawi to appreciate the situation on the ground.
Yes, one of the schools I actually visited is here in Lilongwe.
Yes.
And what hit me as I got in there is the sheer population of learners.
Yes.
I mean, this one school has 6,000 students, and in every class, there's only one teacher to 200 learners. Yep. And I couldn't believe it, that it's possible to offer quality education under those circumstances.
It makes it incredibly difficult, and I think it's also difficult for the teachers to train the individual progress of the learners in that situation.
Yes, in fact, in many cases, they don't even know who is in class, who is outside of class. Some of the children, I could see them just walking out of the gate and going home at 10 a.m. in the morning. When I asked the teachers, they said, well, in fact, when some of them don't show up, it's even better because the classrooms are so crammed that you wish that there were fewer students. Now, some of them even stay outside and learn under a tree sitting on stones. It's unbelievable, and that is what poverty has done to some in the education sector.
Poverty has done many things to Malawi, and widespread poverty among women in the lakeshore areas of the country is again forcing some female fish traders to exchange sex for fish. In Mangochi, sexual advances could come from either a man or a woman, and sometimes circumstances make it a requirement. Take a look.
Women carrying buckets each morning to buy fish at Lake Malawi is a common sight in the Makawa area. Strange, though, is the locals say some of them engage in a practice of exchanging sex for fish.
This really happens here. Most fishermen come to the lake with a mission that they will find women, but the relationships don't last and they only bring problems to village women. For example, I have MK2000, but I need to go to the lake to buy some fish, and there, one fisherman offers me free fish. Taking into account that I didn't eat last night, and neither did my child, I would end up accepting the offer, and that would end up leading to something.
The practice has brought a lot of misery to the women.
If the prevalence of HIV infection is increasing in our area, it is largely because of fishermen. Women are too desperate for fish. And also, most of the fishermen are just impregnating the women, and then they run away, leaving the women to struggle taking care of babies.
Although transactional sex between female fish traders and fishermen in Lake Malawi is rampant, stigma and discrimination make it difficult to identify those involved.
I don't allow that. I try my best to do some piecework to raise money to buy fish because I fear if I do this, I can contract HIV. And if I contract HIV, who can feed my children? Because I am the only parent to take care of them.
Fishermen distance themselves from the matter.
We don't do that. If a woman doesn't have enough money to buy fish, we don't ask to do anything with her.
I come to the lake to feed my family. Such tendencies are more rampant to bachelors. They are the ones who do that.
However, research shows that sex for fish in Malawi is more rampant between December and March because it is a period when the country is hard hit with food shortages. To curb the problem, community leaders have introduced economic empowerment initiatives for women to ensure that they have their own sources of income instead of relying on credit from fishermen.
We have empowered women to form groups so that they can start providing loans among themselves to start businesses. In doing so, we are sure women can be strong, to stand on her own, and she can be refusing suspicious offers from men because she has something to rely on.
In the meantime, they are working to source more funds from well-wishers to completely shut down the women's dependence on credit from fishermen. With reporter Lamek Masina for VOA News, I am Twe Sangosi for Zodiak TV.
Well, another issue we noticed in Mangochi is plastic pollution around Lake Malawi. Now, despite a recent ban on the use of plastics, pollution continues, and conservationists say it puts a strain on aquatic life. In fact, studies warn that the fish stock in the lake could be depleted by 2050 unless the pollution stops. Like people across Africa, Malawians often use plastic bags for carrying various items because of their durability and lightweight. But conservationists say the bags present a threat to about 1,000 fish species found in Africa's third largest lake.
You know, when these plastic papers goes to the lake, you know, you find that fish are eating this plastic paper, which is harmful to fish, which is not good. So they are not good thing in Malawi. So it's not just on the land as well as in the lake.
Malawi banned the use of thin plastics in 2012, but the ban was suspended after the Plastic Manufacturers Association of Malawi obtained a court order negating the ban, saying it posed a danger to their business. Although the Supreme Court of Appeal upheld the ban in July this year, communities living along Lake Malawi still complain of continued flooding of plastics into the lake.
These plastic bags are heavily affecting lives of fish in the lake. For example, we had a lot of fish around this area in the past, but now the plastic papers are making the fish fail to breathe properly once covered. In doing so, they don't breathe.
Residents say they cannot force the plastic bag makers to stop because they don't have the mandate to do so.
We would wish the government empowered us to sensitize traders who are selling the plastic papers to stop it. This would help us completely clean the lake of any plastic papers.
However, a local conservation NGO, Ripple Africa, has introduced an initiative to rid the lake of the plastics, in which it mobilizes communities to remove plastics near and around the lake.
We have done a lot of cleaning up campaign, and we are also busy now sending the message out that I think using plastic paper is not a good thing. So we have already starting something on the ground.
Meanwhile, the government is running messages on local media asking the people to replace their plastic bags with carriers that can decompose easily, like paper and canvas bags. Well, that story was produced by Makwina in Mangochi district.
And that's how we call it a wrap on Africa 54. I am Joab Frank Chakaza with Vincent Makori of VOA. Thank you so much for coming to Malawi.
Thank you very much, Joab. It's been a great pleasure being here at Zodiak TV.
I hope you come back to enjoy our fish.
We look forward to coming back. I have been eating fish like every day. I hope I'll have another chance to come back and eat
the chambo is awesome.
Fish.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing fish.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
your
indeed.
hospitality. And this has been a co-production of VOA's Africa 54 and Zodiak TV of Malawi. We want to thank everyone who has been involved in this to make it a reality. For viewers across Africa, thank you for watching. For those of you in Malawi, keep watching Africa 54 on Zodiak TV. I'm Vincent Makori. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, and safe travels back.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel.